My first question for both of you would actually be, when this project came to you, what were certain aspects of it that spoke to you both?
There was a list. Foremost, I mean, it always starts with story, and did I connect with the story? And I did. It kept surprising me. I was not familiar with the graphic novel prior to reading it, which I think was good because, as I said, I got to read it fresh and clean, and I love the story. I love the characters. I love the fact that it was two women at the heart of it, and I love that one of them was a young Black female hero. And I love that this film had something to say, that the quiet moments were as integral as the big action moments, and that was exactly the kind of film that I wanted to make.
For me, I mean, the very first thing that got me interested was the opportunity to work with Gina. Before I had even read the script, knew anything about the graphic novel, it was just, oh, I could work with Gina. But then once I actually got to read the script, I mean, I was excited about the opportunity to jump into action, but to do it in a way where I was still playing a character that was very much so relatable, and that, I don't know, I felt reading it, I'm like, I feel what she is experiencing. And so to be able to be that, but then also kick some ass. Yeah.
So speaking of kicking ass, my colleague Ferdosa wanted me to ask you what it was like, KiKi, filming the fight scene alongside Charlize Theron, and for Gina, how was it for you filming that?
I mean, it was crazy because that was the very first thing that we shot for the film. So, I mean, I definitely had some nerves. But thankfully we got to work on the fight and train together, you know, well in advance of actually getting on set. And then, you know, once we were there, I don't know, it gave us a great place to start in terms of building that relationship between Andy and Niles. So it actually ended up being, I don't know, a really great thing that's where we started. But I mean, it's crazy. Like, even when I saw the scene for the first time with like the music and how they cut it together, I'm like, bruh, I'm fighting Charlize Theron. So it was crazy.
In retrospect, I love that we started shooting the film with that scene because it really set the tone. And, you know, it's one thing to have in your head a thought of what something could look like, and have a desire to have the actors really doing the stunts and the action and the fighting so that we could really tell the story of the scene and get the emotion within that. But it's another thing for them to put in the work and to be able to be on that set that first day and see the first punch that KiKi threw. It was, and see and feel the intention behind that. That was exciting because I knew that we were really locked in, and that, you know, I felt very confident that we were going to get the scene that we wanted to. I mean, honestly, the most difficult part of shooting the scene was, you know, we built a life-size plane, and that was up in the air in a very large sound stage. And I'm actually deathly afraid to fly. And it was on hydraulics, and every single time we would kick those hydraulics in, I would have that, oh my God, I'm gonna die, that I had to just temper so that I could focus on actually directing.
And so my last question would be just kind of a little fun question. What do you guys think that you would do if you had immortality?
I know I would do two things. One is selfish. I would jump out of a plane because I would hope that would get me over my fear. And two, I would be out in the streets doing good. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I would wrestle with those same, you know, questions that Niall asked. Well, what am I supposed to be doing with this? How is this something that serves, you know, something greater than myself? And so then once I feel like I got that answer, then I'm gonna just run with it and do what I got to do.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for talking with me today. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you.